What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How we doing tonight? Tonight is Thursday, June 15th, 2023, and we're ready to get things going here. We're going to discuss the urban apologists who went out in Detroit to the IUIC camp and talked to them face to face. I'm going to show you some video of it right here, so you're going to see exactly what we're talking about. And then, so that's a little taste. Are y'all ready? I'm going to comment on this video, and then I'm actually going to bring on some of the men who were there. So for now, take this in so you understand what today's show's about.
All right. Listen, it's time to do it one more time. Urban apologists from the Metro Detroit, Flint, and other places area. It's time for us to blitz the IUIC one more time. They are here. It seems like they're here in strong numbers, but we're not afraid. We're getting ready to go ahead and preach the gospel so people can see. Everybody share the video. Let somebody know what's going on as we stand on the gospel truth. We marching over right now.
Hey, I got a question.
Here we go. All right, so this is some of the footage you're going to be seeing tonight. We're going to go over this footage in detail. We're going to be looking at these gentlemen, brothers in the Lord, and a sister, she won't be with us tonight, who went out there at IUIC's Detroit's headquarters, just like the same way they blitzed the Christian churches, and they did something similar. And you're going to see the footage as well as hear from some of these men tonight. This is a second time that this has happened in Detroit, and it's a pretty big event, pretty big deal, because usually Christians are caught off guard by this type of thing, right? Usually the Christians are the ones getting blitzed. And let me just say that IUIC does not like it when it happens to them. Now, here, you're going to see it's men, and we knew that would be the case. Keep in mind that when IUIC shows up to church, they're in everybody's face. Women, men, children. It's not like they just hand the men flyers. But here's these gentlemen, and you're going to hear some of the audio. I know right now you're just seeing the video. Let me turn this up so you can hear some of this. Here we go. I'm going to let you hear some of this audio with the gentlemen.
You Christians been polluting our community with these lies all of these years.
Army of faith and word is also
Robert Anderson is a false prophet. That alone is a false prophet. Your leader left you. My leader will never leave. Y'all niggas is waiting.
I had to rewind that part right there. I had to slow motion that bad boy. One more time for the audience. Now, that's not the only spin move you're going to see tonight. You're going to see some more spin moves. So I'm going to get into it. But first, let's bring these gentlemen up. Welcome to Street Apologists Live. I'm going to let everyone introduce themselves. Elder Mike, how you doing tonight? Very good to have you on. You all deserve a round of applause and then some. Welcome to the program.
Bless you, Brother Vocab, man. Thank you so much for having us on. Just excited to be here. Always excited to stand on truth and expose these false cults. So appreciate you bringing us on, bro.
What do you do in Detroit? What do you do on the internet, my friend?
Yes, sir. I am a pastor of a newly church plant, Walking on Water Bible Church. And I'm associate pastor of Power, Hope, and Grace Bible Church in Detroit. And we minister, we evangelize, and we build up the kingdom of God. We also, we are an apologist where we defend the faith, the Christian faith, against some of these false cults like the IUIC. My YouTube channel is Elder Mike, Your Urban Church. For those that may not be subscribed, you can subscribe there. For we always put out content, helpful information, different apologetic material that'll help us to defend the faith. So that's what we do. That's what we're about. Most importantly, we glorify Christ. So again, thanks for bringing us on.
Yes, sir. Excellent. What about you, Des? What about you?
Des Ingram. Right now, just doing a residency. Plan on playing a church soon. So other than that, man, just chilling, man. Whether it's evangelism, trying to engage the gospel with folks, That's all it is, or get in trouble with these guys, man, occasionally. So that's it.
Yeah, that's right. They spent three and a half hours on y'all already. My goodness, highlight of their year. Apologist in Detroit. I know you're a writer. Tell us about that and what else you do, my friend.
Well, vocationally, I am a missionary. So I'm actually very frequently in the streets preaching the gospel. I blog and I do biblical social commentary. And I work with my partner Matthew Jackson over at the Urban Christian Institute. And then, like you said, I blog. So that's a place where you can regularly find some content from me these days.
Just if you Google, search Apologist in Detroit, you'll see him right there on Medium.
Yeah.
Tremaine,
Yep. Everything.
welcome. Oh, go ahead. Sorry about that. Welcome to the show, my friend. Tell us about yourself.
Thank you for having us, Vocab. So
yeah.
I'm just an apologist. In Detroit with the rest of these guys. Don't do much. I'm usually, popping up with a video here and there on Facebook that I'll go in on some cults. I'm the resident Detroit apologetic member that is a former cult member. I was a part of a few of the urban cults like the Nuwapians and the Nation of Islam. So, I have a background with those groups being in them. So I, know how to, provide an effective apologetic against them.
Well, we're glad you are on the Lord's side now. I think we
Yes,
got
yes.
everybody. That's all 5 of us, right? And hopefully you guys understand to the audience, this is Street Apologist Live, the show where we serve the underserved and look into the overlooked. And we got good amount of people coming in through the live chat already. Be sure to like this video and please share it. Jay Fry, thank you for the first super chat of tonight. Very much appreciated. Okay, so we're going to get right into this. I'm going to go back to some of that footage I was playing. We'll rewind it a little bit. And then I got specific things pulled out of it because there was a lot there, a lot to watch. And while I'm pulling that up, introductory thoughts, some background. Elder Mike first, please.
Yes, sir. So, as everybody is aware, IUIC, they have made it a point to, as a part of their strategy, to blitz Christian churches. They show up to Christian churches all the time. We all know of churches in the Metro Detroit area that they've shown up at. The Winans Church, Perfecting Church, they showed up there on Easter Sunday morning and they confronted them. And of course, everything they do, they got their cameras out and they're trying to make this big, public outcry. And so we thought it necessary to take it right back to them. Their thing is, we want to sit down with Christian pastors. We want to talk to Christian pastors. And Pastor Dez can confirm this, that we have reached out to them. We have emailed them and asked for a respectful sit down and discussion. They have yet to respond to any of our emails. They have yet to respond to any of our requests. So we showed up just like they show up at the Christian churches to let them know, 1, Christian churches are not afraid of them. And 2, we want to expose them for the false teachers that they are. And I'm sure we're going to get into some of that tonight.
Excellent. Des, any background so we understand what we're watching here in a minute?
I mean, it's everything I thought it was going to be. I know from last year, I think they gave us too much talking time last year and exposed their weakness in the doctrine. So this year, I think they had in their minds that they were going to let us talk. We'll probably get into it, but as soon as we get there, even Tremaine will tell you, as soon as we get there, one of the members, they're like, it ain't going to be no back and forth today. So they already had in their mind, like, whenever they see us again, they were never going to let us out. So don't get everybody watching. This is a dog and pony show. That's all this is. They don't want to have a dialogue with us, because if it was, then they would have let us talk. And honestly, I would have thought that the city of Detroit, I think everyone on the internet would have been edified by a street debate back and forth between the Christian community and IUIC Detroit. So unfortunately, they dropped the ball as they did last year.
Agreed, 100%, just in a different way. Chris or Tremaine, you want to say anything as far as background, introductory, before we get into these clips?
Just piggybacking piggybacking off what Dez said, that was the first thing I heard, and I let Mike and Dez and Chris know that I had overheard them say that there's not going to be a back and forth today. So there was never a time where they wanted to have a discussion with us. It was that their whole entire plan, once they knew that we were coming, was to do exactly what they did while we were there.
Yeah, and that's really what they want to do with the churches too. You know, there's a pretense of we want to talk, but the lie is exposed when you look at how they title their videos. Pork chop pastor curses out the prophets. Pork chop pastor hides behind his sheep. Pork chop pastor drops the ball again. You know, it's on, and like this loudmouth woman tries to stop the men of God. You know, this is the titles, and I'm not just talking about the street videos, although certainly they'll be like that as well. But a lot of the ones, and they'll name the pastor's name to kind of like shame them, and they'll say what church it's at. So I know I was saying pork chop pastor, but a lot of these videos are actually Pastor Jeff at First Street Baptist in Memphis falls on his face. That's how they do it. He ain't trying to talk. They're trying to. They're some jackals looking for the sick gazelle, and then they want to take a picture of it.
Right.
That's what it is. Apologists to Detroit, my man Chris. Before we start these clips,
originally we weren't actually going to engage them. We were actually going to preach the gospel outside of their location.
Amen.
While they had their meeting. Last time they caught us on camera, I think, and then they didn't show up until they were embarrassed, and then they showed up. This time our plan was to wait for them to be inside of the building and to just go and preach the gospel outside. And if they came outside and they wanted to have an interaction, we were more than happy. Hey, we can defend the gospel. So we're more than happy to engage with them. But as you heard, they had zero intentions. They actually mentioned in one of their videos that they saw Robert's evangelism van, and that tipped them off that we were coming. And then they just called back up. And the entire time we were there were just more people coming. It was just it was like every 30 minutes, you know, another van or another car pull up with 4 or 5 more guys and they're jumping out, or a van pulling up with more sound equipment and they're jumping out and unloading. So they're certainly prepared for these types of things, the way that in spite of the fact that they didn't know we were coming, because we called last time. This time we didn't call. We were just going to preach the gospel. That once they caught wind of us, they kind of got their back up like very, very quickly.
Yeah, imagine these guys, you know, doing whatever they do on Saturday, and they jump over there. You know, my bet is that I bet they called guys away from camp. I'm not sure, but maybe that's what they did.
They did, because we saw some of them on a certain street on our way. Matter of fact, as we're on the other side, they have this van, and you just see IUIC dudes popping out. So they went to go get their dudes from the streets to come in. I think they had class at that time anyway, so they was probably going to get them guys anyway, and make that call as well. Fascinating.
And so I think, this type of thing is important, because really no matter how it turns out, it forces a situation that IUIC is not used to. And that's having to be on their back heels theologically, and to have to confront people who are a little more prepared and know what's going on. They're not ever used to that. And so that brings out interesting things, regardless of which way it goes. It teaches us a lot. You learn a lot by the response itself. Okay, footage time. I gave you a taste of the beginning, everybody, just so you know we wasn't just going to be talking all night. But now you're going to see it, and we're going to get into it. And then, gentlemen, you stop me. I'm hoping we can make snappy, quick comments. Move it. Quick comment, but we'll see how it goes, because we're going to have this video up the whole time. All right, so here we go. I'm going to have to do a little tinker right away. Now, this is towards the end. I'm actually going to play some of the other stuff in the beginning, but did you guys hear? I mean, I know you guys heard. Everyone in the audience, how dare you come and disrespect our leadership?
I think that was Big Red talking, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and they were saying that because we had mentioned that Nathaniel is their God, and they got real upset with that.
Yeah, that's because you said that's who they fear, which is true.
They're just a deluded bunch of lawbreakers. That's all they are.
And Chris is going to explain how they break the law. So this is when you guys are leaving, but I'm going to show this before we show the next part.
What's the difference between eternity and $5? Right. What's the difference between eternity and $5?
Because they call him a $5 slur. And so Phil, by the way, shout out to Phil Fox for the super chat. And he was there. He's just not on the show today. But Phil Fox, shout out to that brother.
Look right there.
The Spirit just showed me that your work is of men.
Exactly.
Your work is of men.
Now, none of them dug in their pockets to help this family out.
Your work they don't have pride. If this work be of men, it will come to naught. Look at you all dispersing like flies. It's coming to naught.
Shout out to D-New.
They don't like that I'm wearing pants. They don't like that I'm on the front lawn. This is in my place. They don't like it.
Hey, if that's right, IUIC, stop showing up to churches with women and children there and accosting them with your propaganda.
Wait, hold on, come out. Hold on.
What you got?
So can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So the background of this, there's this guy, and he's in need of some money because his girlfriend, she's in pain, right? And so he goes to IUIC, and then IUIC is like, "Get out of here, get away from here," right? So he comes over our side to the Christian side, and what do? We go of him and his girlfriend or his wife, whatever it may be. And then on the other side, there's this guy. He's passed out, right? And what happens? The Christians, the urban apologists, we come and we help them out. While IUIC.
Okay. So yeah, because I think I saw that guy waving the money or something like that. Yeah.
This area, it seems like they're here in strong numbers, but we're not afraid. We're getting ready to go ahead and preach the gospel so people can see. Everybody share the video. Let somebody know what's going on as we stand on the gospel truth. We marching over right now.
Okay. Hey, I got a question.
So yeah, the who's the thing. Anybody want to give the background to that? The who's the king element?
Yeah, last year, that's where, because that was the famous blunder where we asked them, according to Deuteronomy chapter number 28, who is the king that came over to America through the transatlantic slave trade with them, and they searched high and low just for Big Red to say the white man. So he took a lot of flack for that. I think that was probably one of the reasons they wouldn't let us even have a dialogue, because they knew that, we were going to catch them up, and cause them to embarrass themselves. So they weren't trying to have it this year.
Exactly. And when they did their response video, man, they went on and on about that. It was clear that he felt pretty bad about that. I shouldn't even responded. All right, so here's some of the audio. You guys tell me when to stop this. I'm gonna bring up some of this audio, so we can start hearing this right here. Just a second. And you're gonna see a lot of these guys tonight. So you're gonna meet these cast of characters, everyone. You'll find out who's who.
You Christians been polluting our community with these lies all of these years.
Your faith in the word is also.
So, first of all, you Christians been included community lies all these years. When you think about important things in history, civil rights movement, what role did the Hebrew Israelites play?
Zero.
What did they do? Oh, no, they played a role. They played a role. They killed Martin Luther King Jr.'s mother. That's the role. Yeah. That's the role the Hebrew Israelites played in the civil rights movement. Thank you.
Wow.
And then they're going to come now in their tassels and say, "Oh, you Christians." What great leaders has IUIC produced? I don't mean leaders of cults. I don't mean people like Yahweh ben Yahweh, a.k.a. Hulan Mitchell, who convinced his followers to go kill people when they left the cult. I mean actual good for the community, not good for the organization. And they're going to come up here and say this. And then everyone, I don't know if you heard it, the very next line, he says, fake ASS Elder Mike. So this is the way they speak. They're going to say, fake is a false prophet. And then they're going to say me. I'm not even there. I want you guys to see this. I want you guys to see this. Listen up close to these guys, what they say right here. That's Samson, by the way. Young Samson, right?
Yes.
The guy speaking, yeah. And then you got Big Red.
You Christians been polluting our community with these lies all of these years.
Army of faith and word is also.
Hear that? Fake. False prophet.
Robert Anderson is a false prophet. Joe Malone is a false prophet. Your leader left you. My leader will never leave.
Fascinating. What did he say? What's he? Can you explain what
I
they're
couldn't even
talking
make
about?
out what he said.
He said
He
your
said his
leader
leader-
left you. My leader would never leave.
My question is,
Yeah,
who is his leader, though?
Nathaniel. We know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we know.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, do you guys? If somebody,
Well, they were. He's talking about when we were leaving. That's all. And
Yeah.
now he want to say your leader left you. No, we.
which we're going to see here tonight, and
Right.
then some people were like staggered back, and so they made a big thing out of it. And he says, "Your leader left you. My leader would never leave me." It's crazy. They're out there literally bragging on Nathaniel. They're bragging on their higher ups, their so-called deacons. That's who they're bragging on.
I think they were more upset that we, I guess, confronted Nathaniel's school, so to speak, more than anything. You know, you would think that they would get upset if we were blaspheming the name of Jesus, but they got more upset about that we were coming at Nathaniel. The man worship that goes on in IUIC, man. That's all that is.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they said, "How dare you disrespect our leader?" They said that. I mean, audience, you're going to hear them say that. Now, watch this guy. What is it with the spin moves? Watch this guy's going to do this is not the only spin move we're going to see tonight by IUIC. At least in this spin move, Elder Mike didn't get hit in the chest. But it's like, I feel like they've been practicing that. See, you got that. Well, he didn't spin all the way around. The other guy's going to spin all the way around now. He played at lion sound effects. That's what that is. You guys hear the lion sound effect?
Mm-hmm.
What about that is commitment?
Look around. Mike left your ass. Mike.
That's how they talk. Can you guys hear this audio?
Yes.
Left your ass.
Yeah, I can hear it.
How dare you come out here and try to disrespect Bishop Nathaniel?
There it is. Did everyone hear that?
Yes.
How dare you come here and try to disrespect Bishop Nathaniel? Listen to this.
How dare you come out here and try to disrespect Bishop Nathaniel? I'm sorry, my brothers. Be strong in the Lord.
I mean, yeah. So there's Officer Sampson. He's supposed to be officer of 20. He's going to probably be the most aggressive one, would you guys say?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's probably the most aggressive one. And how many guys did you guys have with you this day?
What, about 15 past it is?
Yeah, I'll say about 15. Yeah.
Okay. And about how many did they have out there?
I would say they had probably like their consistent, maybe like maybe about 20, 30, something like that.
20.
Sounds
They
about
probably
right.
had like about 40, 30 or 40. Plus they had a building full of people as well, because they were still having class. They were letting people in the building as well.
Right. Go a little back away. And then, you guys tell me when you want me to hear this audio. Here we go.
He haven't answered none of my questions. He ain't answered none of my questions.
So what are you saying there, Pastor Mike? What's the context of that discussion?
Yeah, so he got to the place where he was, when I realized that he was just being okay. It looks like my mic may be freezing up some, but when I saw he really wasn't trying to ask questions for dialogue, I just started going on with whatever we were trying to say. Again, it became very difficult. He was extremely confrontational, getting up all the way up in my face, violating, there's a code. He violated it a couple times. And so I was just getting our brothers together, and we had a few of our own particular things that we were repeating. So, and then that's why he was saying he's not answering any of my questions, because I understood he was trying to ask questions just to be sarcastic.
What was something that he said that was sarcastic?
Well, one of the things he was trying to ask, he was saying, do you all want to have a conversation? And when I did try to answer back, he's like, well, we don't want to have a conversation.
Right.
Right.
Or when
just nonsense.
Or when he said, what's your name? And you said, you know my name. He says, it doesn't matter what your name is.
Right. He tried to do the Rock.
I mean, this literally like theatrics from professional wrestling.
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
Along with that, though.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say that right when we initially were beginning it was supposed to be a dialogue. They agreed to a back and forth because the previous time they were so disrespectful and disruptive. Mike insisted we have a back and forth, and Samson agreed. He acknowledged we'll have a back and forth and said he was going to ask this question first. Mike agreed to that, and then after he asked this question, he broke his oath. That's another law that they broke while we were there that
Absolutely.
day. We're gonna be naming off some of these laws that they broke while engaging us that day, because they think of themselves as the law keepers.
Here. Do that again. Name the first law they broke. Okay,
so the first law is they didn't love their neighbor as themselves. There were two situations next to them where the people came to them. Deuteronomy 10:19 says you're supposed to love the stranger. There were strangers next to them that asked them for help. They dismissed them. We went over from across the street and had to help them. So that's one law. The second law is Samson explicitly on video made an oath, and then he broke that oath. That's the second. We're going to name them off as we go on along.
All right, excellent.
They're cuss, they lie, they cheat. If you can, I will. We can be orderly or we can be disorderly. You tell
What's your name again?
You know my name.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Just so Hebrew Israelites that watch this, if you watch this and you're proud of this behavior, it shows the problem with your religion. Anybody can act this way. Anybody can behave like this. It's like people don't understand. Like they're like, oh, watch me turn up. Any sinner can act this way. It's self-control and love and respect that's the fruit of the Spirit. This is not impressive unless you're carnal. I know there's Hebrew Israelites, most likely not of the One West variety, who watch this, and they're embarrassed by this. They know this is not becoming. They know it doesn't adorn the gospel. They know it's disrespectful to elders. They also know it's a form of lying. Because, see, when the scripture talks about thou shalt not lie, what it means is not just don't tell a lie. There's a whole thing in it. And this was Jesus talking about in Matthew 5, where he breaks it down what the law means in its layered importance and significance. It means you tell the truth. It means you act in good faith. So when he says, what's your name? He knew he didn't care what your name was. Number one, he knew what it was. So feigning ignorance about your name, only then to ask it, it's dishonest. But he wanted to do it to set you up to say, it doesn't matter what your name is. Now, they're going to do this. Why did they make a big deal about that one part? It shows the total lack of integrity that they have and dishonesty that they portray. Am I right?
Yeah, and I think also what's funny to me is that these guys portray a lot of their propaganda, like a Psalm 80, to be gods, right? To act this childish behavior. This is craziness, man. But this is what happens when you're in a cult, man.
Yeah, and when we first got there, the first thing he said, at least directly to me, he said, I've been waiting on you, Mike Holloway.
Okay. Okay.
So, and then he said he started naming others. I think he named Dez. He named Elder Robert Anderson. So here he is later saying, "What's your name?" I'm like, "No, bro, you know my name."
I'm glad you didn't fall for it, but he had to get his punchline out. Yeah, this is IUIC propaganda.
Right.
When men became gods.
When men became gods.
I think they misspelled it though. They instead of G-O, it should say F-R-A-U.
Yeah,
when
there
men
you go.
became frauds. Okay, let's play this to see what else is going on here.
I'm going to give you one more chance, Matthew 5:17. I'm going to give you one more chance to answer this question, or I'm going to go ham. Just full ham.
What is this?
That sounds like another law.
Hey.
But what kind of
about to go ham?
Imagine Jesus in his discussions with the different interlocutors, right? Okay, now I'm going to give you one more chance on the scripture. Okay, Matthias, if you don't answer, I'm going to go ham. Imagine Jesus talking anything like that. They say it's the spirit of Christ. Man, it's the spirit of Nate.
Listen to this. I'm going to ask you a question. Listen to this, right? Matthew 5 and verse 17. What does that mean, Mike?
It means you don't keep the law.
Okay, now, I think they twist what you're saying there in the response. As if you were saying, it means you don't have to keep the law in the way, like as if you could just live ratchet. But when he says, what is Matthew 5:17, what were you meaning to say? So it can be clear what you're meaning to say. I think it's clear, but explain it to the folks who are trying to twist your words on that.
Well, one of the things, because again, I knew he was baiting. He was asking baiting questions. And so I simply was letting him know, it means you don't keep the law. They don't keep the law. That's all I'm doing. I'm not, at this point, we're not really having an exchange of biblical information here. I mean, of course, we could have torched them on scripture because we know these guys they eisegete. So I wasn't really answering him early if I was in class, exegeting Matthew 5:17. I was simply letting him know that they don't keep the law. That's all I was doing.
Yeah, so you were literally saying to him, it means you don't keep the law.
Exactly.
And I think that was clear, but they try to, I feel like in the response, the way I saw it is they're trying to twist that. But I mean, what do you expect, right?
You don't keep the law.
Oh, go ahead, Chris.
If you pay attention, Samson's arms are filled with tattoos. An observation that Mike pointed out to him. You're breaking the law with all those tattoos on because, of course, according to Leviticus 19:28, you're not supposed to scar your body, right? So that's 3 right there. 3 laws they broke.
Mods, go ahead and block Alex Morales. If you come up here and you're good, chilling, we're okay. But if you get obscene and start talking that way, then not so much. Okay, let's play this.
Because Christ fulfilled the law. And the fact, when you start cussing and acting all belligerent, you broke the law right there.
So you explained it perfectly. What do you think of that, Chris? Does that qualify again?
That's 4.
These are not law keepers. I mean,
no.
It's an easy slur to call a person a Pharisee. But if a Pharisee is someone who portrays himself as a righteous law keeper and then doesn't, and often has motives to be puffed up in the process, my goodness, they embody the Pharisee spirit. Not the good Pharisees like Nicodemus, all the other ones. These are some Pharisees and some heresies.
You went to the port and you went ham. You broke the law. Matter of fact,
Now, were you telling me you shouldn't have been out there on the Sabbath? Go
there
ahead, Chris.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. According to Exodus, wait a minute. Let me get that right. Exodus 16:29. Wherever you are on the Sabbath, you're not supposed to leave there. You're supposed to stay there and get some rest. So the very fact that they left their houses to come out for camp meeting, they broke the law.
But that's how they're going to earn their righteousness.
Let's show Pastor Mike what it means. Give me Luke chapter 24. Give me Luke chapter 24. And where in the Bible say you can't say a cuss word?
But look at, I want you to see how they set this up. Again, this is how they operate. So he's telling one guy, give him his thing, right? And then while he's turning there, he's got to hit you with something else. That's not the intended. The way they operate is not intended to have any kind of even, forget about a discussion for a second, a logical following point to point, because it's like, okay, he's going to deal with something else. And he's like, oh, we can't say a cuss word. I'm just saying it's how they operate. How many curse words did they sling at you, man?
Oh,
Oh,
too many
God. Innumerable.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. I wonder if their kids come home cussing and they say, hey, the Bible says you can do it. You know,
Right. That's part of our culture. You know,
Right.
because
You know
they say this isn't the religion, it's their culture. So, right. What?
You know what's
Right.
funny too? I peeped out. I think I heard, was it Big Red who said this? And I call him Big, not being derogatory at all. But I think
Yeah,
Big Red said like guys out there. So they trying to do harm. I'm like, bro, got big guys. What are you talking about? Like, it's just the logic, man, of these dudes, bro. And it's the arrogance and the hypocrisy. But once again, that's what happens when you in a cult.
I mean, that's the way. Okay. So when they have big guys at the churches, what are they trying to do?
Exactly.
Right.
We already know what they're trying to do to ISUPK.
Right.
Ain't nobody say you can't say ass.
I can show you.
Give me that
See,
ass.
this how I know y'all
Off the
wicked.
donkey.
This how I know y'all wicked.
He literally just said, "Where's the Bible say you can't say ass? Give me that in Acts about the donkey." This is a real
Right.
Bible teacher to just utter that sentence.
Right. Right. And
Audience,
one,
are you
it wasn't
hearing
in
this? Huh? Say what?
So he said, give me that in Acts. It wasn't, number one, you could tell he doesn't know his Bible. That passage is nowhere near the book of Acts. Now, his reader went and found where it was quoted, but he was totally off. So you could tell these guys don't know the Bible. They know their scripts.
Yeah, the precept packet that they take on Quizlet.com. If you guys ever want to see IUIC learns, just go to Quizlet.com and you'll see their little quizzes they give each other.
Mike also said it's a sin for me to be saying ass. When I call him a dumb ass, I was sinning. That's what the Bible say, right?
This is the Bible teacher. What if you guys, some of you are or have been in pastoral leadership. Imagine if there was a video of one of your college students witnessing, sharing the gospel on the streets, and this is what they were saying on the mic. How quick would you sit them down?
Right. That, and not only the curse words and cursing at us and all that and calling us the N-word as well several times.
Oh, yeah. You go from being royalty to a slur real quick when you disagree with them.
Real quick.
Yeah, that's funny how that happens.
Hold on. Listen, give me somebody who not a Give me somebody who not a Give me.
Did you hear what he just said? Audience? This is real life, folks. This is somehow a cultic group that's growing. But then again, it's really not that mysterious, is it? They appeal to the flesh. What is the difference between this behavior? Tell me the difference between this behavior and something you wouldn't see in the world.
Facts.
There's no difference.
And I hit on this earlier. So notice how they're using where Peter is quoting, giving the illustration of where the donkey spoke to Balaam, right? And if they understood the context, the donkey that they were calling me and us, the donkey was right. So he said, what is Elder Mike? Listen, I'll be the donkey in this text because the donkey forbade the madness of the false prophet. You were the false prophet and we were the thank you. You made a mistake and got a passage right.
2 Peter 2. Look what's on the screen. 2 Peter 2:16. Somebody drop that in the live chat. Drop this verse in the live chat in the KJV. But was rebuked for his iniquity. The dumbass speaking with man's voice forbade the madness of the prophet. Man, y'all gentlemen in Detroit, if somebody has it in them and won't be worried about losing people out of their church, You need to make this into a shirt. I'm just this something like next time you go out, everybody has a shirt on the front that says dumbass, and on the back says forbidding madness of false prophets.
Yes.
I'm just,
What's funny? I forgot this was. I forgot they even said that. I forgot that whole thing. Maybe I was on the other side, but I forgot this even happened. Man, that's crazy. Man,
isn't it? But look at the quality, and I'm putting that in air quotes, even though I'm not doing it because I'm adjusting my camera. Look at the quality of their exegesis. He literally justified calling you a dumbass because in the KJV, it refers to the donkey that spoke to Balaam as it's saying mute. It's saying a mute ass that was able to speak, so a miracle. But it's stopping the madness of the false prophet. He's using it as a pretense to say, and notice this, was Peter calling a human being a dumbass? No, he was speaking about an actual animal.
No.
Adjective, noun. Adjective, noun.
Yes.
Dumb, and ass. Adjective, noun, right? He's using it as a justification to insult you that way. This is a real group that's growing. Hey, you know what?
Right.
Vanilla Ice and MC Hammer, Vanilla Ice and MC, they sold a lot of records too. In the 90s. That's everybody. That's everybody. And yet these guys are the victims, right? You know what's funny? These guys are like repeating anything he'll say. They're literally chanting the.
It's like monkey see, monkey do.
Yes.
Like, hey, somebody needs to take that clip of that video of them saying this again and again. The dumb ass speaking, ding. The dumb ass speaking, ding.
But
I'm sorry.
It's so sad though, and I seen this last year, and I see it again. I'll say it again this year. There's actually, if you talk to some of these guys on the side, right? Some of these guys are actually cool. I believe they are just deceived, man. They came into this thing, thought they were going to get some truth, and they're deceived. I was talking to a guy, I'm not going to say who it was. Last year, it was one cat. He was real cool, tried to fist bump him. This year, I was talking to a real cool guy. I won't say his name because he was legit. And we're having a conversation with him. And I asked him like about Deuteronomy 28, it will show me in Deuteronomy 28 where it says that Israel will forget their identity, right? Then his leader comes and says, "Hey, stop talking to Dez." And then my man's fist bumped me. He was cool, but what does his leader say? Don't even fist bump him. Don't even fist bump him.
Right.
This is cultic activity, man. And so, everyone who's in IUIC Detroit that's watching, because I know they're watching, we have no hate toward you. Have no hate towards you. The mere fact that we went twice to y'all camp is because we love y'all. We love y'all. Big Red and everybody. We love everyone. But at the end of the day, man, this is deception. This is spiritual deception. But we simply go out to do this because we simply come to the knowledge of Christ, the biblical Christ.
Yeah,
Amen,
before you start the video, whenever we mention Deuteronomy 28, I like to point out that in Deuteronomy 29, which is a part of the same narrative, there are foreigners amongst the Israelites who are taking the oaths along with the Israelites. So if you go to Deuteronomy 29, it lists off all the people who were taking the oath. It says the elders, all the tribes, their wives, their children, and the foreigners. If you go to Joshua chapter 8, verses 34 and 35, it lists right after they have the big battle at Ai, and Joshua goes over all the law of Moses again. It lists the same exact groups, all of the elders, all of the women, their children, and all the foreigners among them all agreed to take the oath.
Amen. Yeah. So that's in a way that's in breaking the law because you come in with the Asian wife and they tell you to divorce her. All right. So here we go. Yeah,
Wow.
It's not. If you have a wife who's a member of another nation, it could even be. Imagine if somebody's Japanese on their father's side and black on their mother's side, right? That person, right, got to be excised. That's how they do. That's how they really do. Like seriously, what were you guys thinking when they were doing that? That's a new one. You know
Back
the only
up.
people. You know the only people I've seen do that is the LGBTQ plus activist. I'm not even joking. They do that. Remember that old lady with the cross? There's a video from a couple years ago, and they took her poster, stepped on her stuff. That's the stuff. They shame.
Sad.
Yeah,
But, see,
how you try?
but I'm gonna tell you another thing that we are seeing here is they were getting closer and closer and closer. We're already hanging off the curb, right? Half the sidewalk. This year they were being very overly aggressive, and they were getting close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you saying, brother Des?
No, I was about to say what was sidewalk. But then all of a sudden, as the conversation goes, they
Asked them like, so y'all want us to leave this clear right here? And they were like, yeah, leave that clear so people can walk through over here to keep that clear.
Yeah.
As you see how close their hands are to us. Now, I don't know if you saw in the video that they Mr. Emotional. So you can see how I'm literally just standing there most of this time. See what happens once I really get emotional.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see this video where they touch you too, and also when you guys leave, they follow you into the street. Basically, they go real far into the edge. We're gonna see. So these guys are just hypocrites left and right. Listen to what I just put that out because he's like trying to get a real loud cheer. This is like it's like a pep rally for these guys. He's like, I need to hear everybody real loud out here. Watch. I better hear everybody out here. I mean, in my high school, you know, they would have pep rallies like this, except usually you weren't allowed to curse. You know, and get in the opponent's faces. Stop, some knowledge is going to come out. This is when you guys are doing John 3:16. I think this part. So I'm gonna have you guys talk about this after I play the audio.
For God so loved the world.
So even when they're not talking, they're letting you talk. They're doing that. You know, it's just
great.
Here we go.
That he gave his only begotten Son, so that whoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. What that mean?
Right. It means you don't have salvation, number one, because you don't know the Bible Christ. You don't know the Bible Christ.
So see, they'll act like they'll give a pretense of, hey, we're going to listen. But while you're doing it, they're talking, turning around. You know, they're talking to the guy. So they're talking on the mic. He doesn't actually have to talk on the mic to say that. He could say, hey, give me Isaiah 45:17. Really, if I was there, I could have told him the verse to turn to because I know they're John 3:16 killer. It's Isaiah 45:17, which, you know, only a cult cuts the Bible with the Bible. But that's how these guys operate, trying to cut the Bible with the Bible, something the devil would do, make the Bible contradict itself. But he doesn't have to talk on the mic. But this is what they do, everyone. Don't let them make you think that they're honest, sincere people, guys. When you see these guys, pray for them, but know what's really going on once you get locked down in this court.
Bible Christ, right? That's what it means. It means that Christ died for the sins of the entire world.
I'm gonna give you a chance. Now, what is that, John 3:16?
How did you give him a chance? He was just interrupting him. My goodness. But, you know, you're explaining it. You know, you're not doing chants. I mean, as a primary thing. I mean, when they chant, you might chant, which is funny, you know, tattoo, tattoo, tattoo. But you're there actually explaining the verse as quick as you can. This, anyways.
See me. What does the world mean in John 3:16?
The word is cosmos, and it has reference to universality. And you will know that in the Bible. If you read a book.
Can you show me that in the Bible?
The Bible wasn't written in English, young man.
All right. Now I'm about to show you in the Bible.
Tell me about it, guys. Let's pause for a second here. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. What's going on?
Well, after Mike said that, like, they just went crazy. There were some people on the side that were like, oh, here he goes with the not English written in the Bible thing. Bible's not written in English thing again, because that was something we told them last year when we were speaking with them. Like, you know, the Bible wasn't written in English, and they were like, we don't care about the original language. That's what they said to us last year, and this year they...
Yeah, they don't care about the original language, yet they're going to try to go to Hebrew, the original language of the Old Testament.
Yeah.
Everyone should realize the silliness of this. So what they're doing is actually a trick. To the audience. The English word in both Isaiah 45 and John 3:16 is world, in the KJV anyway. The English word. But underlying Isaiah's text is Hebrew. Underlying John's text is Greek. So it cannot even be the same word. It can't.
And in addition, vocab, when you look at the Greek Septuagint, the word is not cosmos. You see, in John 3:16, the word is cosmos. In the Greek Septuagint, the word is aeon. It talks about ages. So it's talking about the eternal ages to come. It's not dealing with the world as the same context as John 3:16. But these guys don't like study. All they like to do is pin the same. They playing old maid. They see two matching words. It's we got one. We got a precept. You know.
It really is that level of simplicity. It really is that level of simplicity. And that's exactly right. And it's bizarre. I watched the response video to you, which you're going to do a response to that Monday, by the way, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so everybody subscribe to Pastor Mike's channel, Your Urban Church. It's Elder Mike, Your Urban Church on YouTube. Monday, he's going to do a response to their sit down. They did a 2-part sit down on this. And in that, I heard one of them say, oh, you know, these guys, one of the tricks they like to do, they like to go into the Strong's Concordance and look at the Greek. You know, that, and he said something regarding, he said something like, they try to find an answer in the white man's language. I was like, did I hear him right?
What's English?
Is English not?
What is English?
Yeah, number one, English from the Anglo-Saxons who migrated from Germany.
Hey, vocab. Which one said that? Which one said that?
Yeah, I got it.
I don't remember it. I had the audio playing while I was making food. You'll see it. You'll see it.
I didn't even watch that. Oh my God.
I hope it's not who. I hope it ain't who I think it is. Who said that?
Well, the same guy. The main guy, the guy with the reddish tint in his beard. He said that proof that Jesus was created was Genesis 1, where it says, "Let there be light," and he literally said, "Where's the bomb sound? Where's the bomb sound?" It shows right there, Jesus was created. Oh, my goodness. Dealing with cults for 20 years, I've actually never heard a cult pull that one out. The Jehovah's Witnesses don't even go that low. You know? Jehovah's Witnesses out here. Jehovah's Witnesses out here looking like MDiv grad students compared to these guys, you know? Now watch this, everyone. Watch the way Pastor Mike breaks it down. It's good.
Can you show me that in the Bible?
You read a book.
Can you show me that in the Bible?
The Bible wasn't written in English, young man.
All right. Now I'm about to show you in the Bible what the word means.
You don't know.
John chapter 18 and verse 20. Now Jesus Christ said he spoke to the whole world. Let's see if he spoke to the cosmos. Let's see.
Is he
See how
not in
close
your
he's in my face?
Yeah, is he not in your
He
face?
is in my face.
Tell me, walk me through that moment, my friend. That exact moment. Walk me through that moment right there. I'm gonna go back. Because he's like in your face. And how close was he?
Oh, he was very close. Like literally in my face, to where if he was spitting, it would have gotten on me. But I'm literally just standing there because I know if we do anything, something's going to happen. So I'm trying to keep myself still so I don't get any closer to him, because he kept walking closer and closer to me.
They were just waiting to something to pop off. They totally wanted a UPK suplex you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went down like that.
You know, it's weird. He's
They
all
were
in there.
actually-
But yet-
they were actually intimidated by our group. I think they saw some of the offensive line there, and they were like, Israelites, y'all should come over here.
Yeah, you know.
But yet, remember, they called me emotional, but the way he's acting, like, how is he not the emotional one? Like, he's I never was all up in anybody's face like this.
I mean, he even had the, 2 snaps and a head nod thing going on. Like he was like getting into. He was inhabiting some other space, if you know what I mean. And look,
and he was putting his finger in my face.
Yeah, I mean, and you would think these guys wouldn't do that because we know how concerned they are about spreading COVID. You would think these guys, with their very deep concern, worry about spreading COVID, he wouldn't be acting that way. But I mean, my goodness, what the?
Everybody, Bible says the world is the Jews.
The Bible said the world is the Jews.
Don't say nothing like that.
It don't say nothing like that.
Not even in the King James does it say that.
Hebrew Israelites. One Westers, you're watching this video and you think, oh, these guys are sellouts and vocab's a liar. Let's say you think that. I do want you to go into the Hebrew, since you don't deem that as a white man's language. Okay. All you got to do, you have a blue letter. You have access to that. Most of y'all know how to use a blue letter out because I've seen it in a lot of videos. I want you to go in that. I want you to go in Isaiah 45:17. Listen to what I'm telling you now. And I want you to click on that word that in the KJV says world, and I want you to find out what the underlying word is. And what you're going to find out is your leaders have been lying to you, that it has to do with ages, just like Pastor Mike said. And that's why modern translations say it. If you won't do it, then you don't care about what the Bible really says, or you're afraid of the truth. And let me tell you something. If they're lying to you about Isaiah 45:17, what it really means, what else are they lying to you about? How many of you guys watching this will do that? You wouldn't not do it just because I said to do it, would you? Wouldn't you want to do that anyway? I would hope so.
Israel shall be saved in the Lord. Pastor Mike with this shaved beard looking like a homosexual when we say,
Wait, where did that come from?
It's the flesh.
And who complains, who whines about the slurs that the ISUPK put on them all the time? Have you guys ever watched a UPK video? Do you know how they refer to IUIC as? I'm not asking you to repeat it, but you know what they say?
I just thought they called them like purple Christians or something like that. Or
no, that it's not a C word; it's an F word.
Oh, dang. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And or sometimes the S word, which means the same thing as the F word.
Gotcha.
That's what they call them. The
That's
Christians,
crazy.
that's the least of the slurs. This is ISUPK is one of their main slurs. And they complain about it. They whine about it. And yet, this is how they do. This shows that they really are bullies, though, because they know Christians come in the actual spirit of Christ, not the false prophet. So we're not out there to try to fight them or return kind for kind. But did you say anything remotely like this to them at any point?
No.
No, we come in every time we come up to IUIC, man. It's all love. Like they don't even see on camera. You don't even see the stuff that we're doing on the side. Me and Chris doing on the side, talking to these guys. You know what I'm saying? Just having literal conversations, telling these guys on the side, "Hey, we love you." You know what I'm saying? You're in a cult. We have no animosity. We have no hatred towards IUIC Detroit. None. What we do believe is that they're in a cult.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we continue to go and preach the gospel to them. It's like we're local missionaries to them because we want them to be saved. We have no hate towards IUIC Detroit. No. Why would we try to fight them dudes? There's like 40 of them cats.
Right.
Stop it.
Right. Well,
yeah, and they know that.
Addition,
they know that they're not the brave ones. They know the Christians are the brave ones because we're not out there to fight. We're we're always outnumbered, and yet we don't have fear because we know the Lord is with us, and we're there to preach the gospel, not to swing fists, but go ahead, Pastor Mike. You about to say something, I think, brother.
Yeah. So, he said that, and truth of the matter is, I'm looking at his face. He didn't have that much more hair on his face than I did. But anyway, he said, hair on the face all smooth, looking like a homosexual. Show me in the law where even the law not to cut the edges of your beard had anything to do with masculinity. You know what I mean? Right. So it doesn't have nothing to do with, well, to be a man, you're supposed to have hair on your face. But nothing in the law says that. But again, these guys pervert the scripture. They don't know Bible. They simply use it at their own disposal to make insults and call people out of their name. They don't know scripture.
Also, I would also in IUIC Detroit, if you're having beard, just know your officer will look at you as a homosexual. I just want to be clear.
There's something else. There's something else out here. But hey, I continually commend you guys. First of all, going out there. We know most of the church is asleep and ain't trying to do this. And we know this is not the most popular form of ministry. This is not the way to have Christians really applaud you. Because, first of all, they don't think it's an urgent situation, so they don't see the urgency. They're like, what are you doing? What? And then a lot of them, they're scared. They're not into it. And they wouldn't even do good out there anyway. Because they don't know the Bible. Now, granted, we're not saying IUIC does, but they're organized with some kind of purpose now. It's a cultic mission, but it's a shame that they'll do all this for a lie, and Christians will only go minimal for truth. So I'm glad you're out there, number one. And also, everyone, pray for these brothers and commend them for their self-control. You're just seeing a video. Imagine being out there with these guys in your face like that. Chris, you got another law breaking? Hey, you muted, Chris.
You're not supposed to hate. You're not supposed to hate a fellow Israelite. They think that we black and that we sleep Israelites. And so his insult against Mike is actually a sin that breaks the law. That's Leviticus 19, I believe.
Not only that, what about bearing false witness? So he's accusing you. You see what I'm saying? What's he trying to say? Well, that's false witness. Shout out to Brandon. Thank you for a super chat as well.
Now, Jesus Christ said he spoke to the whole world. Let's see if he spoke to the cosmos. Let's see if he spoke to everybody. The Bible says the world is the Jews. Let's get another one. Israel shall be saved in the Lord. Pastor Mike with this shaved beard looking like a homosexual when we say Israel.
By the way, how does that work? How is it that you're not going to be saved if you're an Israelite, according to them? What do they think is going to happen to you, Pastor Mike? I haven't got it figured out, because I'm going to tell you, GMS and Sakari and some of the groups who are in that mold, that style of One West, they teach Judas is going to be in the kingdom with slaves, or Judas reincarnated. And so every Israelite, IUIC, what do you teach? Do you not hold to the ethnic universalism of Old One West? Because that's an Old One West doctrine. I don't care what y'all say. That's what y'all taught. Do you guys now believe in an actual hell, eternal conscious torment? What's going to happen to people like Elder Mike under your schema? Please tell us so that we know. Because I don't know, and I've heard other Israelites accuse you guys of starting to teach the hell doctrine. My understanding is the only people who teach hell doctrine right now is ICGJC, and they're off about a lot of other stuff. So what is IUIC saying is going to happen to you? Does anyone in the live chat know? I study these guys, and I still don't know because they're not clear on it. We'll tell them they're going straight to. We know they're going to hell unless they turn around, and that's why you're out there, because you care about them. But go ahead, Pastor.
Well, I was going to say, if there's an IUIC in the chat, he can't comment. Like they're so controlled. Like you'll never find a debate online. Like, you'll debate a Sakari. I'm debating Captain Tazariak in a few days. You'll debate some of them. You'll never see IUIC captain versus this person. You'll never see it. Yeah, because they're controlled. They don't say anything unless they're able to put on their display with their numbers, because they're in a cult. They're controlled. We know of situations where we tried to even have sit downs with them, right, Pastor Des, and they won't even do that offline. Go to a restaurant. Let's talk about the Word of God. They cannot. Their minds have been controlled by Nathaniel, who is their true Messiah.
No, that's exactly
Yeah.
right. Imagine, James and Peter with the Jerusalem church. Now listen, y'all brothers, you do not engage any of these Pharisees or Sadducees unless you got the green light. You're not going to engage these Herodians. Don't you dare talk to those Essenes. I don't want to see none of y'all talking to any Gentiles, Greeks, Hellenized Jews, unless we say so. Then you can do it. But unless we say so, it's not happening. I mean, imagine that. But go ahead, bro.
Well, I mean, it's my thing. My theory is that IUIC is 2 Passovers away from Nathaniel claiming to be Jesus, and they're going to accept him as their Christ. I mean, that's what's happening. They already think he's Elijah. They don't know if he's Elijah or Peter. No, 2 Passovers from now, he'll be like, no, I'm Jesus. And they're like, oh, of course.
Yeah. The search committee is out. You know how churches, when they're looking for a pastor, they get a search committee. You go try to find that guy. They got a search committee scrolling through the pages of the Old Testament in our iPhones to find out who Nathaniel is. Because remember that guy, he said that. He said, it could be this guy. Imagine the chatter around the dinner table being, who do you think Nathaniel was in the Old Testament? Imagine the dinner table talking about who Nathaniel was in the New Testament. Imagine your congregation speaking about a leader that way. These guys literally talk about, some say he's this, some say he's that. My goodness.
I got another one.
Go ahead.
Leviticus 19:32. You're supposed to revere the elders, and that's honoring the Lord. Leviticus 19:32. Last time I checked, Samson is younger than you, right?
A lot younger.
Another one.
That's exactly right. All right, we got to make sure we hit this audio. You guys need to hear this.
Who's the Jews? World without end. Northern Kingdom? World without end. Southern Kingdom?
I like this part because he rolls down this list of like who the true Israelites are and then slides in their camp. He goes, Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom. And by the way, this is literally cheerleading everyone. Again, I want everyone to just stop. Imagine, to the audience, imagine the apostles acting this way. You got Philip the evangelist, right? He's got a reader with him, and he's going, to the Romans, to the Jews, this is theatrical. This is not Christianity. This is not the early church. This is not biblical. This is its own sideshow. This is old thing. Well, look at this. And then IUIC, he slides their set in there. Watch this channel.
You don't know the Bible.
You walked up on the wrong brothers.
In Isaiah 45, that word world means everlasting in the context. But y'all don't understand, because y'all think Paul wrote in KJV.
What happened there, Tremaine? What happened there? Do you remember what happened there?
Right now, Mike is encroaching him a little bit because he's been encroaching us all day. And so now they're trying to step up to push Mike back to say, don't step over here, because the guy said, don't step over here. And so I got upset because I'm like, no, you're not going to say that, because this guy's he was just in my face. One, he's been stepping over here the whole time, and we said nothing as long as he stepped back. So now you're telling our guy that he can't encroach your space when your guy's been encroaching our space this entire time we've been standing here.
Hypocrites.
Right, and that's when they want to call me emotional.
You don't know the Bible. The word in Isaiah 45, that word world.
I think he's like touching you almost right there. Hitting your hand or something. Like
there's a lot of touching going on. Oh, yeah.
Everlasting in the context, but y'all don't understand, because y'all think Paul wrote in KJV. Y'all don't know Greek.
And here it goes. He pulls the Tasmanian devil on you, and spins around doing the hokey pokey and pushes you. So, Des, did you see this part when it first happened?
Oh yeah, it happened. It happened a couple times. actually.
This exact move, because I know one we got on video. I'm about to rewind it in slow motion so the audience can see what else happened like this.
Yeah, this happened a couple times. You know, he get close and he do his little, elbow to the chest like we playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? And then you see on their response video something about, we came for a fight, we try to start a riot, all that stuff. Nah, your man's put his elbow in Elder Mike chest plenty of times. So we not the ones trying to be violent. We came for a dialogue. It's IUIC putting their hands on people. Say, hey man, back your space up. You said we had this much of the sidewalk. What ends up happening? They begin to get close to us. So now our heels are on the back of the sidewalk, right? And they're getting closer and closer. So this is what's happening, man.
This is what they do when I go out there. They'll get all close to me and literally follow me, and then say, "Stop invading my space. You're in my personal space. I feel threatened." And I remember I said that on video once, and the guy in Oklahoma, Abiel, said, "We don't even talk that way." Desmond, did they talk that way?
Hey, they was out there talking like that, man. They was out there talking like that, and they were the ones, inciting this stuff to begin with. So it's a crazy thing, man. It's a crazy thing.
People want to know how they can watch the full footage, because we're showing a lot of it, but we can't show every second. But on your guys' channel is the best place to see it, Mr. Phil Fox's channel?
Yeah,
Yes.
right now, yes.
Hey, so Mr. Phil Fox, if you're still here, you could drop that link, my friend. And again, thank you for being out there and all that. There is some more footage coming out later, I believe, on Elder Mike's channel. Is that correct, brother?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
sir.
right now, so Mr. Phil Fox drops a Hope Ministry. Here we go. Now, I turned down the volume because when he's doing this, it creates feedback. But everyone watch. Okay, watch. Watch carefully, okay? Everyone watch. Watch this video. Push. And so the gentleman on your other side, hey, he's like holding the speaker. He's like, hey, back up, back up. But he pushes you.
He does.
So it's not accidental.
That was a Holy Spirit moment right there, because a million things ran through my head right there, because evidently I knew it in this moment, and I'm looking in his eyes, he wanted to fight. And I knew, my first instinct was to, just not fight, but push him off me when he, you know what I'm saying? But I thought, like, even that would have provoked it. That would have, well, not provoked it because he provoked it, but even that would have sparked the fight. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm thinking everything. I'm looking at the people with us, and I'm knowing this is what he's trying to do. It was at this moment I said, we're going to have to leave from right here. In my mind, we're going to have to leave from right here, because he's going to continue to do this until it goes into a full-blown fight. That's what he wanted. Right.
Yeah. I think they wanted another ISUPK IUIC moment, and us using wisdom, we was about to have it. Just not gonna have it. We'll just rather walk to the other side.
See, that's exactly right. Because I know a lot of people after IUIC in Kansas City did the whole takedown and they called the cops on them. Some people are like, "Oh man, they're gonna have to check themselves. This is a bad look." I was like, "No. IUIC is gonna be feeling themselves from this. They're gonna feel like they just got the biggest flex." And since then, I feel like you see them being more aggressive. Not just basically just throwing their weight around. That's exactly what he's doing. They want something like that to happen again. Because you know why? They're theologically frustrated because the devil can't handle the truth. And so the devil just wants to respond in violence. He just wants to silence opposition, not combat it with the way that we're told to do in 2 Corinthians 10:3-5. Weapons of warfare aren't carnal. We pull down strongholds, arguments that exalt themselves against Christ, which they literally do when they say Jesus Christ is created in Genesis 1:3 and all this. So that's what's going on. I just want everyone to understand what we're dealing with. It's a spiritual warfare, and demons essentially animate this type of stuff. Walsh, real quick, I don't have enough mods in this chat. We got a lot of people coming in, and usually we have an application process. But Walsh, would you be willing to be a mod? Because I need a couple more mods. I see a couple people slipping through the cracks that need to get moderated. We'll have to tell you some of the rules later, but I trust you for now. I got to do it on the spot. Wrench giving. There you go. There we go. Look. You guys see that? Don't walk up on me more, straight up.
And
He was saying, I need all my space.
you see, like the big my man on my side, he was telling them to stop, and I immediately, because I didn't want him to respond either, so I immediately was like, it's cool, because at this moment I'm like, it's about to be a fight, like it's about to be more than a fight. Right?
That's what they wanted.
Yes.
Oh, hey, Mr. Islam Answers back. Mr. Islam Answers back. How you doing? Hey, Mr. Islam Answers back. Why are you putting that stuff in the chat, though? You and I got a good relationship, at least I thought. But some of the stuff you're putting in the live chat, I don't get it. But I still got love for you, man. We debated one time. Go ahead. Here we go. Check this out. I want to play it again. Watch this out.
Pastor Mike with this shaved beard looking like a homosexual when we say Israel shall be saved.
So that kind of insult followed by physical contact.
Without end. Northern Kingdom, world without end. Southern Kingdom, world without end. IUIC, world without end. Pastor Mike, you done walked up on the wrong brothers.
You don't know the Bible. The word in Isaiah 45, that word world means everlasting in the context. But y'all don't understand, because y'all think hold on. Y'all think Paul wrote in KJV. Y'all don't know Greek. Y'all don't know.
Don't walk up on me no more. Straight up.
But we were trying to start a fight.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. But, every time I see it, something start happening on the inside, but I thank God. I really do thank God, because in that moment anything could have happened, and I would have been justified for pushing him off me. In other words, there would have been nothing wrong, but I just thank God, because I know that would have went way left. And I'm about to say something to him after this. I don't know if you caught that part of vocab, but I'm about to say something to him just to let him know. I let him know that, listen, we're Christians and we're not here to fight. But I did let him know, and I wanted him to know that just because we're Christians don't mean we're not prepared. We're prepared for anything, and we're not stupid.
I do got that part.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I because his response to that shows how fleshly they are. By the way, shout out to Larry Love for the other super chat. If you dropped a super chat and I missed you, I apologize, but I appreciate you supporting this. Yeah, we're going to get to that part. This is good. Now, you did a good job, Pastor Mike. You made the right decision.
Hey, I'm going to tell you straight.
Let's keep it peaceful.
We ain't the Christian church. I know you ain't dealing with no fast people. You came to our congregation where our children, where our wives is.
Come on. When you heard him say that, what was running through your mind, Dez?
Hypocrisy.
Hypocrite.
My goodness. And we're talking week after week. And they targeted, this started on Mother's Day. Their blitz started on Mother's Day when they specifically knew people would be in tow with grandma. So eventually there's going to be a little more interaction, but audience, spoiler alert, Pastor Mike's going to say, hey, let's walk across the street, because he saw how the temperature was raising. And they're going to use that in there as their advantage, But see, that's how carnal-minded men are. They'll see meekness as weakness. That's how they operate.
So I'm going to tell you straight. If you want to lead peaceful, you better act peaceful.
Now, what is that supposed to mean?
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Right.
And why IUIC? Why is this man in charge of anything? Why does he have a microphone? I'm going to tell you, IUIC Detroit. You keep on putting guys like that in positions of authority, it's the surest way to internally destroy your local camp there. I guarantee you, this man continue the way he is, this path, he's not going to be in IUIC. He's going to cause a local problem for y'all, for real.
I'm going to be honest with you. Who we wanted, and I'm not even saying this to be funny. Big Red last year conducted himself way better than what this brother did this time around.
Yes,
absolutely,
100%.
So I give
shout out to Big Red with that one.
This dude was straight off Dexter and Linwood, and anybody from Detroit area know.
Hey, that's where I'm from. That's where I'm from, Mike.
Oh, Well, we glad you was with us.
So that explains it, huh?
See, yeah, it's like I think it's like they got embarrassed last year and they knew it. And it's like there's this old movie with Sylvester Stallone called Cobra, and the cops are trying to solve this stuff, and there's a hostage situation in L.A. and they can't get it under control, and the guy goes, "Call the Cobra." It's like that. They're like, okay, we got embarrassed last time. Call Samson, because they know he's gonna go out there and just act worldly.
Hey, vocab, I got a question. With your dealings with the camps, how would someone like Nathaniel feel about a Samson type of dude doing this?
He'd be all right with it, and the reason I know is because the only camp that's ever laid hands on me is IUIC.
Wow,
and,
really?
Yes. Think about Sakari carrying guns to camp, named after assassins. They've never laid hands on me. Think about GMS with the wild rhetoric they spew, the really wild stuff they say. Never laid hands on me. Only camp more than once. Now, when I say lay hands on, I'm not saying someone uppercutted me or left hook. I'm talking about though bumping, stepping on, pushing, shoving, poking hard. I'm talking about that kind of behavior. They've done all those things. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Or follow you around, physically follow you around. They've done all that kind of stuff, and they don't care. They do it on purpose. So he would be all right with it. I mean, it's kind of like whenever you see one of these cop videos and you're like, man, how would the chief of police feel about this? And then the cop doesn't get fired. You know how they feel about it. It's like that with these guys. They stay in their positions and rank up for acting a fool.
Read what you got. What if Pastor Mike and his henchmen and his flunkies don't believe that Jesus Christ only came for Israel? Read. Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect?
We just wanted to have a conversation.
1 Thessalonians 5:20.
They don't want to talk.
Pastor Mike, you want to have a conversation?
Y'all show up at the churches. Y'all say, we want to have a conversation.
Do you want to have a conversation?
We show up for a conversation.
I'm talking to you right now. You can't even look me in my eye. I know you're scared. But me, the Bible says don't be fearful. Look a man in his eyes when you're talking to him.
Look how close he's getting. If you notice, this man pulls him back a little bit. Do you guys notice that? They even had to pull him back a little bit.
There, I'm telling him to pull him back because he was walking up on Mike again, and I'm telling him, like, look, he's getting close to him again. Like, you need to pull him back. And he stood there for a minute, and then he finally pulled him back. But yeah, that guy who's pulling him back is actually, I saw him at the first time when the guy elbowed Mike. He clutched his pistol on his side.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the guy that's pulling Samson back. When the first dust up happened with Mike, I saw him clutch his pistol on his side.
Are you sure he had a pistol, though?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I hear them claim that they don't do that kind of thing, but I don't know the truth with these guys, so I don't know. Well,
Pastor Mike, we want to have a conversation.
We can have a conversation, but y'all looking like y'all want something else. Now, we prepare for anything, but we are Christians. We don't want it to go like that. Trust me, I'm too old to be out here fighting.
Yeah, I know.
Now, so you're trying to be conciliatory. I'm too old to be out fighting. I want everyone to hear what this guy says. Go ahead, Des.
Wait, but hold on, real quick. Also, watch where our leg positioning is now. Our feet is off the curve now.
Yeah,
off the
we
curve
in the
now.
street.
We in the streets now. Why is that? Because they're pushing us off.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
You're not pushing them against the wall. You're not getting in their space. That's what they're doing to y'all.
Yep.
Kevin says they do carry guns to camp. I don't know the truth of the matter. Kevin, can I ask you how you know that for sure?
I think Kevin used to be a camp guy. A pretty cool guy. But so
Kevin, if there's a way you can confirm that, I've heard conflicting reports, so I don't know the truth. Now, I'm not saying, by the way, Tremaine is wrong. I'm just saying we want to say what's true, but I could totally see that. I mean, that's what IUIC Detroit to think about it. Let's even say Christians came there to fight you, and you end up shooting one of them. Do you think that's going to go well for your camp, your reputation? You've already had a member shoot a transvestite prostitute in the face. Is that really what you want? Oh, a member who was removed supposedly 2 months prior to the shooting. But I'm going to do a video on what I just said. So someone's going to say, oh, that's slander. I'm going to do a video on this and show you how the guy who did that in Indiana was only barely recently removed. And I've even got pictures of the man I'm talking about with Nathaniel. I'm going to show it all. So is this what you want? You guys want this as well? Come on now.
We're Christians. We don't want it to go like that. Trust me, I'm too old to be out here fighting.
Yeah, I know that.
It ain't gonna be that.
Most of y'all ain't been fighting a long time. I'm gonna tell you straight. And we train for this every day.
When I did.
Now,
so hold
my
on.
question was.
Repeat what did everyone hear that?
Yes. Yes.
We train for this every day.
And he says we know y'all ain't you old to fight and y'all ain't about that. Replay that part of vocab. My bad. That's crazy.
Well, so if they just were, first of all, this wouldn't happen if it wasn't for their own aggressive behavior showing up at churches. It'd be a whole different dynamic. But here it is, and it's good because we're called to confront wickedness. We're called to expose wicked works of darkness. And so here you are, and they're pushing you off. They've already made physical contact with you. The former member who was in there for 8 years in live chat said they do carry guns at camp. Tremaine said he saw a guy go for it. And now when you're saying, hey, man, we're too old to fight, you're kind of being conciliatory or like self-effacing. Yeah, I know you're too old to fight. We train for this every day. What is it you train for every day, Samson? My goodness. I know it's not etiquette and protocol. I know it's not the fruit of the Spirit. What is it now? What are you trying to do?
They don't understand. We can have a conversation, but y'all looking like y'all want something else. Now, we prepare for anything, but we are Christians. We don't want it to go like that. Trust me, I'm too old to be out here fighting.
Yeah, I know that.
It ain't gonna be that.
Most of y'all ain't been fighting a long time. I'm gonna tell you straight. And we train for this every day.
When I did.
Now,
so hold on.
Des, you hear that?
I think he said most of y'all haven't been in a fight in a long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
I mean, what's crazy, let's be real, y'all. I'm just going to be straight up real. We're Christians. We understand our rights as well. And, if they think I was going to be out there, swinging arms, they crazy. And let's just be real. We're Christians, but we're not pushovers, right? We were out there to have a cordial conversation, right? but I needed him to know because he was going to continue until a fight broke out. I needed him to know that it wasn't going to be as easy as what he think it was going to be. And I did that purposely, right? Again, not that I wanted any violence. If I wanted violence, we would have stayed on that side of the street. But I did want him to understand that we're not just out here, lambs that they were getting ready to run over. It wasn't going to happen like that.
Yeah, Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his might. What's the source of your strength? Who is it? It's a person, the Lord here. Strength of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. That is what's going on with IUIC. So Christians, we need you to get out there and be on the internet and go to battle in a spiritual sense, not in a carnal sense, in a godly type of way. We do need that. But you all got to get ready and realize when you do it, you are ultimately going up against a doctrine of demons. And they will pull this stuff out and try to get into they'll try to get you to tap into your old man and lose your witness.
Yes.
Because to them, it's part of their religion to bully people. It's not part of Christianity, though, because that's not how Christ was.
Question was, do you want to have a conversation?
Now, look at that. Pastor Mike had to step all the way off the curb. I saw your weight go down. I want people to see what's really happening. So watch. At this point, he's got to stop all the way off the curb of how they're pushing him off. So that shows they're the whole time getting in your space.
Pastor Mike, do you want to have a conversation?
We can have a conversation, but y'all looking like y'all want something else. Now, we prepare for anything, but we are Christians. We don't want it to go like that. Trust me, I'm too old to be out here fighting.
Yeah, I know that.
It ain't gonna be that.
Most of y'all ain't been fighting a long time. I'm gonna tell you straight. And we train for this every day.
When I did.
Now, My question was, do you want to have a conversation? Because you're getting carnal now.
Let me answer you. Let me answer you. Let me answer you.
Wait, did he accuse you of getting carnal?
That's what.
I was just.
What?
Oh, I missed that. I missed him saying that.
So that's the first.
Carnal.
I've listened to this audio a lot. That's the first time I caught that. Man, Pastor Mike out there getting carnal. Now, my goodness, wow.
Do you want to have a conversation?
We can have a respectful conversation, but y'all seem to want something else.
Now, can I answer that?
Go right ahead.
You want to have a conversation? You came to our place where we serve. You show up at you set up at our place where we congregate, and you came for war. When we show up to churches, we come to compel them.
What?
Wait, you know what's funny? You know what's so hypocritical about that? When they pulled up at Geno Jennings Church, well, like last year or the year before, they were marching down the street of Philadelphia talking about war chants. And this brother talking about we ain't. That's what are you talking? This is the hypocrisy, man. The hypocrisy. Crazy.
We come to compel them. We come to compel them. Someone pull up some titles, videos of their blitz. Yeah. Come on now.
They want to have a sit down, we leave. Now listen, you still talking. You want to have a conversation. We don't want to talk about shit. Right. We ain't conversation with nothing.
There's the some of this is just too much, man.
Yeah.
Everyone listen to this again. Listen to this. Listen to this. Live chat. Pay attention. Listen to this and watch this. And again, notice how Mike's all the way off the curb now. These guys are almost in the street where the car's parked.
You want to have a conversation. You came to our place where we serve. You show up at you set up at our place where we congregate, and you came for war. When we show up to churches, we come to compel them. If they say they want to have a sit down, we leave. Now listen, you still talking. You want to have a conversation. We don't want to talk about shit. Right. We ain't conversation with nothing. We ain't gonna give y'all nothing but thus saith the Lord. Ain't no conversation. We walk up on the Israelites. Ain't that stuff about us. Ain't no conversation. All you gonna get is thus saith the Lord.
Yeah, I'm emotional. I'm the emotional one. Remember, y'all? They called me that on the video. I'm the emotional damage, right?
And then on top of that, what's so funny? How many times did we say? Well, did Pastor Mike say we want dialogue? We want dialogue. Like 5, 6, 7 times, right? Want a dialogue. Had to leave because guess what? They went from being on the wall to having us go on the street. This is what happened. This is the dog and pony show we keep talking about. It's all smoke and mirrors over there. And that's why I'm just asking, man, for some of y'all guys, and y'all ain't stupid, man. Some of y'all are just deceived, man. Y'all thought y'all was getting to something holy and it's dark. And I really believe some of them guys in that camp in Detroit, they know what's going on. They know it's demonic. They know it's satanic. Man, I'm asking y'all, man, really begin to search y'all hearts, search the scriptures. And I just pray that some of these guys get out of it. If one person gets out, man, it's a win. But it's a win regardless. And it's not about wins and losses per se of a debate, but it's just a win for Christians to go out there and to preach the gospel and show the wickedness of a cult like IUIC. Because it's some good guys. It's some decent men over there. They just deceive, man. And we love them.
Yeah. And what you're doing ends up having an effect. We just don't always see it right away. We cannot forget the testimony of Marcus Webb, who started the VA camp, was in there for like 7 years. And one of the things that got him on this road to true redemption is he said that they ran into an upgrade. So older IUIC lingo was they would call Christians who knew a little something an upgrade. It's a reference from the Matrix. He said he ran into an upgrade, and he said it made him think, and that started a process. He said, but at the time, he used the group dynamic to just shout that Christian down and drown him out. But it started a process in his life. Now look how they're following y'all out into the street. Watch this, everybody.
One more time for the niggas in the back.
What is he? He missed out on his career. He was supposed to either be in WWE or a 90s rapper. What is this?
Or jail.
But notice they're saying the wicked flee when no one pursued, but yet they're following us out in the street.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I thought for a moment when I saw that they were going to follow us across the street. And I'm praying the whole while. I'm like, Lord, you know how much we can bear. Lord, please don't let them follow us across this. Because at this point, now you following us to our cars. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I was praying. I really was. And I think, again, I've been thanking God ever since, because I even re-looking at this, I see how many times they tried to provoke a fight and how at a blink of an eye, this whole thing could have been went left. You know what I'm saying? So I really thank God that they didn't follow us across the street.
No doubt. Shout out to Berean Babes. Subscribe to her. And also I saw my brother BK Apologist, Fredo Valentin. Be sure to subscribe to him. And Nate, if I haven't given you a shout out yet, shout out to brother Nate. And I see Isaiah Robertson came through. Definitely pick up his book. Shout out to that pastor as well.
Now y'all niggas that got ran off the block. Y'all should have never came over here talking to the Israelites like that. Y'all can't deal with the Israelites.
I mean, they're literally. And listen to the way this guy talks. My goodness. I mean, can't you just go out on the corner and find this? How is this set apart, sanctified, holy, righteous? There's this. The only difference is from the corner, this is a little more organized, which makes it worse.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Y'all got the women out here in pants showing all her goodies. You niggas don't believe in God. You know y'all niggas gotta run off the block. Y'all, shame.
Man, that dude. It is wild stuff. Now they're going to shame y'all.
How dare you come out here and try to disrespect Bishop Nathaniel?
That's your real sin right there, Dez. That's your real sin.
Yeah, that's the real sin. That's the real sin. Nothing about Jesus. Ain't nothing about Jesus.
How dare you?
You know, nothing. How dare we? Nothing about Yahweh.
Dare you disrespect?
But the biggest blasphemy is that we cross the line with Bishop Nathaniel.
Well,
So,
you know,
Chris,
they did say that Bishop Nathaniel's spirit is in all of them. So, you know, he is their Messiah.
Yep, that's exactly right. And that's why they got that line. You know, that line, oh, I feared for my life. That's their justification to do whatever. Chris, so you're walking across the street at this point. What's going through your head with all this?
So,
Go ahead,
like the whole time when they were engaging, I wanted to try to get the signs that we had made on their cameras, because I knew that like our backs are to our cameras, so they won't regularly be in the camera. And I felt like if they wanted to do like review footage, they would be stuck with these signs that points out how they're breaking all of these laws. So I was grabbing signs from other people with the last person across the street, and I'm just going to jam my signs up in their cameras, which is what I did. Communicate with Mike, and so Mike's like going across the street, and he doesn't realize that I have this plan. Right. So Mike's like, go get Chris, and like 3 guys come back to get me, and I'm like, just go. I got this. I'm fine. I'm trying to like put the signs in the camera. So the entire time that like some of them were pulling out, had their like main camera equipment, and I was just trying angles with all the people with the signs so that we're their cameras. And so occasionally I would walk up the camera and just shove the sign right up into the camera so that you can read it nice and clear.
Yeah. Man, oh man, oh man.
And by the way,
yeah.
There, and they had these cameras and they had these microphones. They were all using electricity, which is starting a fire on the Sabbath, which according to what's that, Numbers, that's breaking the law too.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Well, we have about 10 right now. About 10 laws they broke while they were there hanging out with us.
They'll say, oh, these the fake so-called Amalekites, whatever. But at least they go out of their way. I mean, they don't need to because the Messiah came, but they go out of the way to not start, to not use electricity, to not cook. They go out of their way for all that stuff. They think that's how they're earning their their merit or something like that.
You came up to our church. You came up.
A church.
He called their building a church.
Yeah, but also it's like, oh, well, you don't like it when people do that to you? What
Right.
is it a
Right.
problem? We
The
don't like
nerve.
that now. Yeah.
Nerve.
Oh, now he tells them. Jesus Christ is our God. What a random. And besides, they don't think Jesus Christ is God in any meaningful sense. They think that he was created, which they elaborate on in this response video. Number one, a created God is not a God, ladies and gentlemen. At least not the God of the Bible. Now, if you're into paganism, then okay. If you're into idolatry, then okay. I guess he could be a God. But what's wild is they believe Jesus Christ is God in the same way they are God. Because they think they share in that godhood status. The only difference is Christ was created first, and so he has sort of a primacy, but he has the same godhood status that they have, and in their misunderstanding.
Not until Nathaniel comes out that he's Jesus in a couple years. That whole thing's gonna change probably.
Also, is it just me?
And I believe.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I believe we had said something because he was defending Nathaniel. And then we were chanting, "Nathaniel is your God," and that's why he said that.
Yeah, and that was great though. That's exactly right. Shout out to my fellow paisan Tony Tabano, my man. Thank you for dropping the super duper super chat. You get much love all the way out there in Providence, Rhode Island. Shout out to you, brother, man. I hope to see you again sometime soon, paisano. Now check this out. Is it just me, or is Samson laying hands on one of his fellow camp members right there? You see that video still? What's happening there? Oh.
Trying to get him in order.
He's literally pushing everybody. Now, do you think that older gentleman was okay with that young guy doing that? I don't think he was okay with that. Oh, man, this guy. Power tripping.
That's why you follow the white man. The white man is your God. 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 Be quiet, Mike. Brothers, form a box and back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you know, that guy was like stopping traffic. I think it was got hit by a car or something. You guys see, there's like a car. I was like, what is it? We're waiting right here.
The white man is your God. 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 Be quiet, Mike. Brothers, form a box and back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Jesus Christ is the King. Back up. Back up. Back up.
The car's like, what are you doing? What are you doing here?
Acts chapter 5, verse 38. Who am I reading at?
The car don't know what to do.
Verse 38. Listen to this, Mike, while you drink your water, because your voice box ain't ready for this work. Read.
Drink your water because your voice box ain't. He said, drink your water because your voice box ain't ready for this work.
Hey, Big Red. All right.
I don't know, man. When I saw 8 Mile, I thought people in Detroit had better insults. But after watching their response video, some of the people in Detroit ain't real sharp on the insult game. I'm just saying. It's kind of weak. I'm just saying. They were in the what was that? The other posse, Free World. Well, that's their crew right there.
And now I say unto you, refrain from these men. You should refrain from us. You should have made the decision to come out here.
You should have refrained. Do you guys understand to the audience? He's going to the passage where they're discussing what to do about this new burgeoning messianic movement. And Gamaliel's like, hey, refrain, because if it's of God, whatever. They're taking that you should have refrained from us. Like, what is these applications?
They're the most biblically illiterate camp. I mean, I've heard some bad stuff from all the camps, to be honest, but they right up there, you know, one of the most biblically illiterate camps. Like, they literally use the words in the verses any way they want to use them. It's terrible.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Oh, man, my goodness. All right, let's see here.
I'm going to show you why. Read. And let them alone. You should have left us alone, Mike, because you look bad on camera, Mike. You look bad on camera, Mike.
And notice that's what they really care about. You look bad on camera.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
No,
yeah.
we spared. We
You know,
look
it's funny
good on
because
camera.
when I first seen Big Red, this I don't even think this is on camera, but when I first seen Big Red, he came out the school, and he said, "There's y'all here again for a whooping, right?" And you know, we going back and forth about who won or what not, whatever. And he's like, "That's not what the comments said." And I'm like, "Well, first of all, you know, GMS said y'all, you know, took that L, but nevertheless, I'm like, y'all worried about what the camera's saying or what's on camera. Y'all worried about the comments." That's what it's once again, dog and pony show, man. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Facts.
Across the street, scared. Listen up. When we go to the Christian church, we go to compel our brothers and sisters. We have never not once came to the church and said, we are here for whatever.
Right after I took an elbow to the chest.
Yeah. Yeah. These guys are amazing the way they believe their lies. Amazing. Yeah,
He might just say that. He might just say that. He just came up and said, we are here for whatever. That's against the law. That's against the law.
Not what he said.
Chapter 29.
Is not what I said.
Joshua 26. For they prophesied. Falsely unto you. They prophesied falsely unto you people. We know that. That's why we came out the damn Christian church. In my name. You prophesied falsely against God's name. You prophesied falsely against God's name. I have not sent them. I have not sent them. Read again. I have not sent them. I have not sent them. Saith the Lord. Saith the Lord.
What is? I've never seen a camp with the coordinated chop so much. What is? It's like a new thing with the Atlanta Braves fans.
Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 21. I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. What? They ran. They what? They ran. They what? They ran. Joshua 6, they what? They ran. They what? They ran. They what? They ran. What? They ran. You're running. Because you are not bold as a lion. You do not care about God's scriptures the way you say you do. The way you act like you do. You are your father, the devil. Every single one of y'all. Why you gotta go ahead? You out of order. You out of order. You out of order. BX5 and 38. Because I want to show all the men and women out here. What happens when you try to overthrow God?
Say what now? Do you see how they keep on equating themselves as prophets or God? This is towards the end of the video. I'm gonna flip over and go around the panel again. But he says, "See what happens when you try to overthrow God." That's how they constantly position themselves.
Overthrow yourself. That's right. I'm improving on this Bible. Read Acts 5, verse 38. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of God, we cannot overthrow it. Lest haply ye be found even to fight against God. To fight against God. To fight against God. To fight against God. You may have fought against God.
They are like almost right in traffic. Y'all see that? And tell me what is this the guy? Is this the guy who was asking for something? Who is this guy on camera?
No. Is it? Is that him?
Yeah, that's him.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's the guy. He came over asking for help for the woman that was with him. I don't know if she was dehydrated or what, but she was sitting on the ground at the building next to the IUIC building. And they wouldn't give him any assistance. He came over to us. I think somebody gave him a few bucks. And then myself and a couple other guys went over there, gave her some water, and talked to them and just let them know that, we were there for them and that he should probably get her to a hospital. And if he wanted us to call, 911, that we would. But, he didn't want that. And so, yeah, but they wouldn't help him out.
They wouldn't help him.
First, sign away your life savings to Nathaniel, and then we'll see about helping you out. If he was thirsty, she was thirsty. They should have gave him some of their Nate Kool-Aid they be drinking. All right, let's see.
Nothing but crews that love their oppressor. That's all I.
So they dropped the C word there, right? Is that what that was? Rhymes with moon?
Sounded like it.
That's what I heard, yeah.
What did I say earlier? You just got overthrown. Read Acts chapter 5 and verse 38. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men and let.
Is he trying to show that you guys helped him out and gave him money and stuff and they didn't? Is that the point?
Yeah.
That's what he's doing. Yeah.
It's like an odd subplot to this story, you know? But it's fascinating.
Alone! For if this counsel or this work be of man, that shows me, the Bible just showed me, the Spirit just showed me that your work is of men. Your work is of men. Your work is not of God. Your work is not of Christ. Your work is not of the black Messiah. Your work is of men. That's why you got a black woman out here in pants. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. If this work be of man, it will come to naught. Look at you all dispersing like flies. It's coming to naught before my eyes. I know the Bible's the truth. You disrespect our leadership.
Again with the disrespect of the leadership problem. You guys hear this? How dare you disrespect our leadership?
I think, man, honestly, I think Big Red gonna be the first one to get converted, though, man. I just got a feeling. I pray, man. I love that dude, man. I really do.
That's what we do hope to see. Shout out to Tony Tabano again.
We're ready to deal with everything out here. All brothers and scared. This is our forum. This is our forum. We have never once went to a Christian church and tried to fight them. We have never once went into a church and said, we're ready for whatever. Or during their service, we've never done that. We have never went to a church and said, we're ready to get busy. We're ready for whatever. We never came out there ready to fight. But your brothers came ready to fight. That's against God's commandments. All we do is compel our brothers to go in. All we do is compel our brothers and sisters to keep God's commandments. That's it. Look at you packing up and leaving. Your works is of men. Your works is of men. Your works is of men. And now I say unto you, refrain.
Whenever I've dealt with any of the camps, this is the part where they're so excited because they feel like it's some kind of vindication of their cult, and so they get really excited. And I don't know if you saw some of those guys who just have like their phones out. You know that footage is just not going to end up on an IUIC. It's not going to end up on an IUIC YouTube or anything like that. These guys, some of the rank and file members, are taking video of this. This is like a highlight to them. How was your day, honey? Mm-hmm. Oh, these Christian. They came to the camp and the prophet shouted him down and Samson was bold as a lion and I got the video footage right here. Look at them cowering. This is what these guys live for because it's not really about the gospel. It's just not. It's not about Jesus. Not about any of that.
These men, you should have left us alone today because God gonna deal with y'all. God gonna deal with y'all weak men. And let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of God, ye cannot overthrow it. You cannot overthrow it. Robert, you're too old to be doing this, bro. Go home with your young men because y'all just got whooped in the scriptures. Y'all just got whooped in the scriptures. I'm not out here to answer no questions. You come humble and answer your question. I got a video that shows Robert can't even break down Song of Solomon 1 and 5.
Now that's crazy. He brought that up like that was a victory for them. Have you guys seen the video yet?
Nah, I didn't even see that one.
I got it. I don't know if we have time to get to it, but it's crazy the way they twist Song of Solomon 1:5 and then they act. They act like they're doing something good. Song of Solomon 1:5 is so bad. Sakari does actually, do you guys still use that one? I don't think Sakari uses that one anymore. I'm not 100% positive. Don't quote me on that. But I know some Hebrew Israelites have dropped that as a color scripture because they recognize that's the Shulamite woman talking. Anyways.
How dare you think you got enough spiritual knowledge to come out here, bro? Who hated their own people? Joshua 6, who what? Who hated their own people? people. They hate their people. You failed. You failed. Your whole team left, Rob. Look around. Mike left your ass. Mike left your ass. Your leader left you. My leader will never leave.
That's their sound effect.
Gunshots.
That's their sound effect, and they did it with his. Wow. They did it with his bouncing. Yeah, gunshots.
100% from the free throw line.
We're 100% from the free throw line. Well, they're doing better than the Pistons, then, I guess.
Even denying the Lord, you deny Jesus Christ.
Okay.
No, I'm done with my little list for today.
Okay, well, just for all the ones you did bring out, we got that triangle still. Tremaine, what else do you want to add to this madness, my man?
Just praying for these brothers, man, that they realize that, you know, what they're doing is not, you know, copacetic, basically. It's not something that they're in a cult, and they need to really study the Bible and not just listen to this precept package that they're being provided by their cult leaders as a way to study the Bible. They really need to get in and read it. They are not doing that. I know that for a fact because I was in a cult similar to theirs, which was the Nubian Islamic Hebrews, and we didn't study the Bible, you know, in its totality. And it's just sad to see, you know, every time we go there that, you know, we're seeing new faces. We saw new faces last time, people that were new, that were coming to listen to their message, and this new faces there in the purple and gold. And so, you know, I'm just praying that whatever that we're doing is reaching people, even if we don't see it, that they can, you know, see that there's no truth in this group at all. Amen. And everything that they're doing is worldly and not of Christ.
Amen. Exactly. Des, what about you, my man?
Man, not much. It's everything I thought it was going to be. But once again, to show off the wickedness of this cult. But man, I'm praying for those guys. I love them. I have no hatred towards them guys, whatever they may think. Shout out to Big Red, man. I love that dude. Praying for him. Been praying for him and everybody else for a whole year. And you know, a lot of people, you know, they even Christians mad about this last year and this year. But we may not see the fruits of it all the way. It may be a year from now, maybe 10 years from now. But I believe God got the glory. It's not about wins or losses. And this is, I want to say this to everyone in the chat and who's watching. If you're a Christian, it's not about wins or losses. You can come with all the dope theological exegesis all day. In their eyes, you lost. You're always going to lose. It's not about winning the debate. It's about planting seeds for the gospel. And so it was a win. I love them guys, man, and it's all good. It's all good.
Amen. Exactly. Pastor Mike, final thoughts.
Yes, sir. You know, I appreciate you, Vocab, and certainly I appreciate all these brothers here, as well as all the ones that went out with us and supported us when we went out to IUIC. Truly, at the end of the day, we wanted God to get the glory. We believe even in the midst of the chaos, you know, God still gets the glory. And we can see even on the video we displayed tonight what the devil's intentions were. But God kept us. He kept the conversation from getting violent or getting more violent, let me say. And even in spite of all of their attempts, I thank God that everybody on our side maintained their composure and we did not retaliate. And that shows who truly has the Spirit of Christ on the inside of them. And even after that, they accuse us of wanting to come and fight, which again, it is absolute nonsense. But again, God be glorified. I thank God for his goodness. You know, we know what we're doing here. You know, our apologists around the Metro Detroit area, you know, we got our marching orders. We're gonna hit up the areas where they're influential in, and we're gonna go after the people, the souls. As Pastor Dez said, I'm certainly praying for every last one of them. I want to see them saved. I mean, right now they're in the cult. And I like to tell people the truth. If they don't repent, they are going to hell. But we want to see them saved. We want to see them come into the light. And that's what our purpose is. You know, it's about building the kingdom of God. As Dad said, we're not trying to win a fight. We're not trying to win an argument. It's not about that kind of stuff for us. I'm not trying to impress nobody. Them days over. You know, I got a wife and grown children. I'm trying to impress nobody. I'm trying to live for God and please the Lord. So to God be the glory. Thanks so much, Vocab, man. We certainly appreciate you, all your support, all you do for the apologetic community. And we just ask you continue to keep us in prayer.
Oh, yes. And, you know, you guys are doing something really trailblazing, you know, really unique and really different and really special. And, you know, I hope that other people keep you in prayer and support what you're doing. Subscribe to your channels, follow your blogs, and check you out when you're doing interviews and stuff like that, social media. And you're going to be having, looks like, a response to their sit-down response Monday on your channel. Is that right, Pastor Mike?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right. Awesome. Well, shout out to everybody in the live chat, all the mods holding it down. Thank you very much for the work you do. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and share this video as well. And be sure to come back here and check out these gentlemen and what they do, as well as the people who, you know, didn't get to be on the interview tonight. Got some great folks, Mr. Phil Fox, Dino, some others. Shout out to them as well who weren't present tonight. And we appreciate the work you do. Thank you for all the super chats. Shout out to you, Purely Grounded. Just dropped one as well. Thank you very much, sis. And we're going to jam out.